In my last Blender tutorial, I said I was going to show you something that wasn't complicated, and truth be told, it was. So today, I'm remedying that by showing you something that is decidedly less complicated. Plus, I'll break it down into like mini projects so you can go from one to the next to the next to the next. I'm going to show you how to make a procedural world map in Blender for your games or stories. Let's first get the camera right by hitting numpad 7 and then Ctrl-Alt-0. Next, let's delete this light and anything else you have in the scene. Then we'll add a plane by going to Add, Mesh, Plane. Hit the S key to scale until it is about the size you want. Then we'll go to the Shading tab. Hit 0. So you're back in your camera view. We're going to click on the plus new material. Now the basic synopsis of what we're going to do is we're going to have a noise texture that goes into a color ramp that feeds into deep water, then coast, then land, then mountains. Let's name this World Gen. The basics of what we're going to do here is we're going to take a noise texture and we're going to break it up so it looks like a topology. And all we really need is 3 nodes. We're going to use 2 of those over and over again. Now first we want to add our noise textures. Click Add, Texture, Noise Texture. Let's choose 4 for the scale, detail all the way up, and roughness at a 0.7. Now let's add a compare node by clicking Add, Converter, Math, changing this Add to a compare. Let's plug the noise texture into the first value. Then let's create a mix RGB by clicking Add, Color, Mix RGB. We'll plug the compare value into the factor, drag this principled BSDF out of the way. Then we'll plug the color into the base color. The first one is our deep water. So let's see how this looks. Color 1 is going to be everything else. Let's color that green. Color 2 is going to be our deep water. And as you can see right now, it's all blue. That's because of our compare values. Now let's change this value to a 0. And that epsilon is 0.5. So this is saying everything between 0 and 0.5 is deep water. Now this would look great by itself. This is all we need for a map for blue-green. That's all you need. You're done. But if we want to have some more layers to it, like we want deep water, we want ocean, we want land, let's change this a little bit. So this epsilon, let's change it, instead of 0.5, let's change it to 0.4. And that's now where all of our deep ocean is. Now let's duplicate our compare and mix. This is it. This is all we're going to do. We're just going to duplicate our compare and mix. That is the rest of the steps. But we're going to do it several times over. Plug the noise into the compare. Plug the mix where that green is. Let's change that epsilon back to 0.5. And let's make this blue a lighter blue. So that looks like the ocean. All right. We've got deep water. We've got water. Duplicate again with Shift D. Plug the noise into the compare. Plug the color where the green is. Let's choose a yellow for our coastline. A little bit of brightness to it. And let's change that epsilon to 0.51. Now all the area around it looks like it's sandy. Again, let's duplicate. Plug the color into the color. Change the epsilon to 0.6. Let's make this in a nice green. And let's make what's left mountains by changing it to white. And voila! We're done. That's how you make a very basic map in Blender.